From the biggest moments.
Can you believe it?
To gold medal championships.
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
It's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice Podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Welcome to the True North Ice Podcast, where we talk all things Hockey Canada and everything Canadian hockey related. As always, we're your hosts. My name's Jacob Ewing, joined alongside Caleb Schneider. And man, oh man, we say this every single episode during the opener, but it's a great time for hockey. The World Championships on the men's sides are nearing closer and closer. The PWHL playoffs are finally underway as the Ottawa Charge played their first game against the Boston Fleet. And of course, the NHL playoffs are in full swing as we have our next Canadian team. Fate has been decided. But before we get into all of that in today's episode, Caleb, my good friend, how you doing today?
Doing good. Happy that the two teams that I hated the most are now out of the NHL playoffs. I kind of forgot the Oilers were knocked out. It's how bad they were. But no, it's good. Finally, I can go back to just hating the Oilers and the Leafs now. I don't just have to put all my focus on the Sens and the Oilers, which is great. But no, it's been a fun time on hockey. Obviously, we'll touch on the U18s first. That was a little disappointing, but I mean, kind of what we saw in the first game of the tournament. We might have expected it, and we're playing Sweden, who is definitely a top 4 team, so could have won it either way. But you know what? It's a good time to be talking hockey. How are you doing? You're over there.
I'm doing good. And you know what? I'm just realizing that maybe that U18 loss was so disappointing that I forgot to even add it into the intro. So
it did happen a while ago as well.
It did. You know what? That's the thing. Like, thing is, we're talking about this episode, and the gold medal game has been playing right now as we're recording. Yeah. And you know what? Frankly, I think we would rather have been watching that game and recording this later rather than recording it right now. But hey, they're out on Wednesday. I think that was the day, where they lost in the quarterfinals. So, and to be honest, though, man, like, setting up a Latvia-Slovakia semifinal match where one of them gets to go to the gold medal game, like, that's just iconic. That whole Latvia-USA game was awesome. Like, we were texting and you asked me if that was, like, is that a top 3 IIHF win ever?
Maybe I think so. I still think it is. Yeah.
Now, which is bigger? I'll ask you this. Is it, I think you know what's coming, is it Latvia over America in U18s, or is it Latvia over Canada in World Juniors?
It's tough because the bigger stage is definitely the U20s, but you look at USA, the national development team, this is kind of their last hurrah. This is kind of what they're building for in the end, is to compete at the U18s and win gold. And clearly, like the 2010s, I believe they won 8 out of 10 gold medals in the tournament from the 2010s or something like that, a crazy stat. And I think they won 9 out of 13 out of the last 13 or something like that. They build their team for this, and they're supposed to be good because this team practically has been together for 2 full years now. I know there's some guys that leave a U7 after the U17 year, and some guys join, and they pick up a couple players as well. But this USA team is built specifically for this, whereas Canada in the U20s is there's more NHL prospects. It's a bigger stage. It was in Canada that year as well. Like, the CTC was packed. It was full house.
Yeah.
It's hard to think about, because even the Canada-Slovakia one, you could argue, is up there as well, just because Slovakia's U18 program is nowhere near Canada's as well. But honestly, I think I'll go with the U18s one, just because of what they built their team for in the national development program, I think, in my opinion. Like,
okay. Yeah,
and
I like
and
that.
Latvia's worse. And also, like, Latvia's missing their best, apparently, I don't know Latvia prospects, but people are saying they're missing the top 2 eligible players for this tournament are both in their playoffs for whatever league they're in. So.
Okay. True. Yeah. Yeah, no, I could understand. I feel like, the national team development program definitely has the advantage because they play with each other all year long, and they can't get it done in a tournament like this when, like, it honestly couldn't be a much easier walk to the finals, because Canada, Sweden, and Finland are all on the other side of the bracket. It'd be, they win that game against Latvia, and then they go up against Slovakia in the semifinals. If you would have told them that going into the tournament, they would have been crying tears of happiness.
Yeah.
because of that faith, that walk to the championship game. But it said, you know what, though? We can't dog too much on the Americans because we placed the exact same way they did in a loss in the quarterfinals round. And you know what? Going into that game against Sweden, you look at what some of Sweden's numbers were going into the game and their game in the preliminary rounds. What was it, a 9-2 loss to the Americans? 9-2. Was it something like that?
I think so.
I know
it was
they scored
crazy.
9.
9-1,
Yeah,
9-2.
just smoked. Sweden got smoked in that game, absolutely dog walked by the Americans, and that's the team you expect from USA, a team that is just knows each other and has systems already set. And then Canada's feeling pretty good, hadn't let in a goal in their last 3 games.
Yeah,
Slovakia was the only team to score against them, and you just the first period with the 2-0 lead for Sweden, both on, I would say, defensive breakdowns. It's just not the way you wanted to start. And honestly, it kind of fell right after that first period. Like nothing was pretty. And again, against a team like Sweden, who historically in this is a very good hockey nation, and we all know can hold their own. Against a team against Canada, like you're not going to have an easy comeback in that game, despite the result after the second period.
Yeah. It's tough because it's just how the tournament works out. There's 5 really good teams. You could say 6 now, and the competition's just going to get better. You finish second, you're going to play a good third place team, and that's exactly what Sweden is. Sweden's not nearly as good, but you can't come out flat. You just can't come out flat in that first period and allow those 2 goals. And in the end, like, Canada did a great job. I know it's a little swayed because of Norway and was it Denmark or it was Latvia, right? It doesn't matter. It was one of those 3. It was 2 of those 3 teams. You played 2 of those 3 teams. You come out with the best save percentage in the entire tournament. I know it's a little swayed because you're not playing the final 2 games, and 2 of those prelim games kind of were chops. But you come out with the best save percentage out of the entire tournament, and you let up 2 in the first period. That's just not exactly what you want. So
no, they weren't, and they were just off miscommunications and misreads on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Just losing a man, allowing open space for a shot near the slot. It's just, it wasn't there. Something wasn't there. They didn't come out for the first 20 minutes. We've seen this before with Team Canada too, where they just don't have their step, and then they take a step back. But they are able to fight back, Caleb. In the second period, they score a pair of goals. Maddox Dagenet gets his first of the tournament. Then Callum Croskery scores on a buzzer beater in the final second of the period. Tynan Lawrence doing exactly what I think he's done significantly all tournament long. Just beautiful passing. He's got such great vision. Just feeds it right through a seam, just on a tee, and honestly probably caught Sweden sleeping because there was 2 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're expecting just to ride it into the end of the period, up by 1, but no. Lawrence makes them pay. Croskery gets one. So huge. That's huge. That was a big one too. And honestly, after watching that, I was sitting pretty nice. I was sitting pretty easy going into the third, just because they're able to score a big goal like that, which turns the tides a lot, especially going momentum-wise into the third period.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was like, and it was a nice play up against the boards. Ty Lawrence with the pass. Like, that was as nice of a goal you can find. With 1 second left. You'd think that the momentum is swayed in Canada's favor here. But, I mean, in the end, somewhat late power play goal in the third period. Yeah, it's tough, but for sure. I mean, your top players kind of got the job done, and still you can find the back of the net for a third goal. So it's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just with how well Gavin Betts played this entire tournament, and like it's just want him to buy a game. Want the team to buy him a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After he played great against Slovakia, always had to leave. He had Essler come in for a game, and then he comes back, fights through it. 0 goals allowed. And then, like, I wouldn't blame him. I don't think I'd blame him on, honestly, maybe not a single goal on this one. The Niels, Bartholtson one, the game winner, ended up being on the power play. That's just, I wouldn't even blame that on the defense, really. It was a power play goal, but it was just like tic-tac and just a perfect shot on net. That's a beautiful set play there by Sweden on the winner.
Yeah.
It's just, you need a big goal. And you had a couple of them in the second, but you need the biggest goal to get over the hump in the third. And with the players that Team Canada has, you'd think you'd probably have that. You'd have someone be able to step up and give you a big goal, but just wasn't there when needed. No. And unfortunately for Cross-Curry, it was him with the delay of game penalty, which ended up giving the game winner over to Sweden. So, hey, you score a big goal in the second left, but it doesn't matter. You pretty much wash it all away when you let up the game-winning goal off a penalty you took.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And like Cross-Curry, he was heavily relied on, especially in the back half of this tournament. He was a third pairing guy. He jumps up to the first pair with Verhoff near the end of the tournament. Played, probably was over 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure I saw. And 20 minutes, 2 seconds. He scored, obviously. It's tough. Delay of game happens all the time. Like, obviously, there's a good chunk of it on the player, but when it comes down to these important games, somebody's going to flick the puck out at some point, it feels like, especially at this age. And unfortunately, it was him. And, man, Canada, like, it felt like Sweden scored and Canada just decided to let loose. Like, you look at the shot totals in the third period, it's 12-4 in Canada's favor as well. Just couldn't find the back of the net, man. And it felt like there was a good amount of times where we had sustained pressure in the O-zone. But in the end, just didn't work out to find the back of the net for the fourth goal near the end of the game for the empty netter. It's tough, but I don't know. It's hard to do some takeaways from this because obviously a big question mark always has been the goaltending for this tournament, where, like I mentioned earlier, best save percentage in the tournament. Both goalies were great in my opinion. Even like that Slovakia game, you come in and you only allow the one goal after the injury on the penalty shot. Like, I felt like they did everything they could, and just came down to not the crazy offensive performances you would have thought you would have seen from this Team Canada. Kind of like what you saw from last year, right? You pummel Sweden 7-0. That's basically the identity of the team last year, and it just was not the same this year, which is fine. I don't think they have, like, the talent standpoint for Canada dropped off a little bit from last year as well, I think, but I think a lot of these teams also had a big drop off. USA's team wasn't that good. Sweden's team had a major drop off, and yet they might win the whole thing. Czechia was better. Slovakia clearly was better, but the talent drop off offensively wise was probably the biggest factor why Canada isn't playing in a semifinal or gold or a medal game, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It just seems like it's been a year of disappointment, and we've seen this team in the past in tournaments like this where the talent pool has a wider margin that you'd expect them to come out and just honestly bang teams, just kill them. Like, even think about the World Juniors. You play team, like, the last couple of years, we've had a really hard time with Latvia. No games have been blowouts, right? And even at the World Championship, we lost to Denmark. Each tournament seems to have a loss that is just unexpected out of nowhere. And it just honestly leaves a bad smell on each tournament, a bad taste, you could say. And it just seems like every single tournament for Canada, they just are not able to get over their hump. There's always something. We haven't seen that in a while. And I don't know if you saw this, but I saw a tweet the other day that showcased pretty much the landscape of all international events and which way they have gone. And
USA
they were
and Sweden.
all, one Sweden, by the way, like 12 or 11 Team USAs. Yeah, after today. Yeah. Unless there's a Slovakia, which could be cool.
It's at home, so maybe Slovakia's got a better chance than what we think. But yeah, it's I still think the biggest story out of this, like, for Canada's sake, the biggest story is USA losing to Latvia, which kind of covers some question marks. But I think from here, and I think this tournament proves that it's going to be harder for Canada to compete because, well, there's two things actually, but the first one is the landscape of junior hockey in North America has completely changed. You look at some of the players that could have been here, like 4 or 5 years ago, like you're having top of the tier, top 3 picks. I know Keaton Verhoff was here, but that's also different because NCAA. But you have all these top players in the upcoming draft there, where this year you didn't, last year you didn't, because the CHL teams now know that they have to make a run with these U17 players and U18 players like this year when they're in that age group, because they know they're going to lose them when they're drafted and they go to NCAA. And I think, like, you look, Medicine Hat is the biggest example. The Ruck twins were on the U17 team. They have a couple other ones. Noah Davidson was another one that definitely probably would have made the team. Schaefer Gordon Carroll was another one that was mentioned. This team won. Like, they won out in WHL last year. And then they're back here again because Medicine Hat puts all their chips in the table because they know they're going to lose these players next year, possibly, maybe 2 years. So, whereas 3 or 4 years ago, Medicine Hat definitely would be rebuilding, trying to get as many picks as possible, getting rid of some of their senior players, and just losing out in the first round. But now they got to completely build it up because they know they're losing the Ruck twins, right? So the landscape's just changing even more, but these CHL teams are now going to just put all the chips on the table with these U17 players, which is going to not allow them to go to the U18s, right? I think that's a big factor. Kale Malhotra was another one as well. I think that's a little different because Brantford might be, like, he's probably been Brantford's best player in the playoffs, but they still might be where they are right now without Malhotra. I don't know if that's crazy to say, but like, those are some factors. And I think the other factor now is I don't understand why they're getting Canada to try and play like these European teams. Why not just play run and gun, take your chances, and try and beat teams 8-0? We haven't seen that much, and I know teams are getting better, but it feels like they're playing a much more defensively structured game that doesn't allow them to take as many chances offensively on the rush. I don't know if that's what you see.
Well, yeah, I can agree with that, but then I think I just feel like you wouldn't be like disrespecting other teams, because the thing is, you could disrespect other teams, but I think it might come back to bite you. You know what I mean? Like, the run and gun style for how skilled Team Canada is can work. And you know what? It probably would work for a couple games, but I feel like over time, like, I just feel like it would come back to bite you. I would love to see it, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Yeah. I get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. Like, I think them trying to play too much into the European style, which, very structured, defensive, block shots, wait for your opportunities, and when you get them, take advantage of them. And what I like to see, I think they should be more offensive. I don't know about run and gun though. I think that I don't want to disrespect these other teams. They are really good.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. I think it doesn't matter to be like, especially at this age group, if you put up 45 shots against, and I know we did that in the U20s against Latvia and still lost. Like, if you're putting up 45 shots against Sweden, like, their goaltender is 18 years old. I don't think he's going to stop more than, like, I don't think he's going to stop he's going to give up 4 goals. I feel like if you just completely sway and play run the gun and then screw it. Like, you have better talent offensively wise and just skill wise compared to Sweden here, and you just gotta hope and pray that your talent outscores them.
Yeah, but I just feel like if you just went all out, I feel like it would hurt of course these structured teams would be able to produce their own offense too, because Canada would be so focused on scoring goals and a little bit messy and unstructured and miscommunications at times, that I think it would come back to bite them. I seriously would. I think, Canada might have maybe 45 shots, score a couple goals, but I think the other team, like, we'll use Sweden as an example, would also potentially be able to score 4 goals because they have a set plan and they do a great job of realizing open areas of the ice and able to take advantage of it. I just think, I would love to see it. And do I think it could work? Absolutely. But I feel like against certain teams, especially the better top tier upper echelon talent, that it would hurt them. But against the other teams, I think they should, like a Latvia or a Slovakia, I think there's no reason not to go all out. Especially when the other
they
team's
still,
whole game...
On the scoreboard, they still did. But it's just the structure-wise, like, it used to be you would pummel the team and the game's over. And it kind of was for these two games. You pummel the team and the game's over 5 minutes in because you already have 3-0. Because you just run and gun and go immediately off the opening face-off. I don't know. These are 18-year-olds that just want to score. And I think the style of play could have been different, and I think it could have swayed the outcome. Not saying that Sweden still wouldn't have won, and in the end, it was a power play goal that was a game winner. Like, you look at Alexei Joseph, and he clearly wasn't the player that would have worked in this structure. Canada was more like a go get the puck, find the puck, where Alexei Joseph definitely wasn't the piece that would do that in this tournament. I wonder if it was a little different, he probably would have performed better in that first game against Slovakia. If it was more just, like I said, run and gun, forget a little bit about the defense and try and find the puck for the offense and just take your rush chances as much as possible. But I don't know.
Yeah, hard way, tough. Canada not able to go win back-to-back tournaments. Would that be the three-peat?
It would
Did they
be,
win back-to-back last year?
Yeah.
All right, so not able to get the three-peat for Team Canada at the 2026 IIHF U18 World Championships after losing the quarterfinals 4-2 against Sweden. All right, Caleb, let's move on. Let's stay on the topic of Team Canada, though, and let's move to the World Championships as we have officially announced a head coach, as well a head coach for next year's 2027 World Junior Championship. They're not going back with Dale Hunter. I think they had Dave Cameron the year before. So a couple junior coaches who couldn't get the job done. So they're moving on to Misha Donskov, who gets the head coaching job, has been around Team Canada for a while, Kale, but it's his first time as the bench boss for the Maple Leaf in red.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think more of the story isn't that he's going to be coaching the Worlds. I think it's more the World Juniors, and then even already having the position locked up for next year at the World Championships. It's an interesting decision because I don't think we've ever really seen this. Usually it is a head coach or a former head coach. This guy's never been a head coach, unless I'm really missing something here. But I know he's been around hockey and the bench for over 2.5 decades. But it's an interesting hire. But I think he'll be fine at the World Championships, like the Men's World Championships, just because, like, what they just announced their assistant coaches. But I'm pretty sure all three of the assistant coaches are all head coaches for a team. I'm pretty sure. I know for sure Ryan Huskill was one of them that was named. I don't have the other two off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down. But I think he'll be fine. I really don't know anything about him, so I don't have much analysis other than he's had a long tenure with Hockey Canada and basically he's worked his way up from a video coach, and he is not Russian. But it's interesting that he's already got this position locked up. So I'm trying to see if I can find the names of who else was announced.
Okay, yeah. Well, you find that. I'll run down his career for all the listeners. Okay, Caleb, you mentioned this guy's been around hockey for a long time. He's been around Team Canada for a long time. So I got this whole list of stuff he's done. Started as a team consultant. He's with he's in the NHL with the Columbus Blue Jackets, then with the Atlanta Thrashers. And then he went into the coaching. He was an assistant coach at Western University. Shout out OUA. Then went to London. Couple years as the assistant coach in London. We're back since 2009. Then the biggest thing, Caleb, the biggest thing I want to point out.
Yeah.
We talked about this before recording. He was a development coach and a scout for the Women's World Championship team of Team USA back in 2010-11. So before he got involved with Team Canada, he was coaching or helping the coaching staff of Team USA. Caleb, what do you think about that?
Well, he has got the dual citizenship. I did research that to make sure. So, okay, I guess just given his track record that he is a Hockey Canada guy and would much rather win a medal with Canada over USA, just given he's been with Hockey Canada for a long time. It's funny though. It's very funny. I mean, I don't have much to read into it.
Funny. But that's okay. I just wanted to, funny reaction.
I mean, you mentioned off air. He's got the inside knowledge of USA hockey, but that was a decade. That was 15 years ago, right? 2011, you said. So,
yeah.
Fun
on
stuff.
The women's side too.
Yeah, on the women's side, this is completely different now.
Yeah. So he went back to the OHL. He was an associate coach of the 67s. Still an assistant coach with London. Then the only thing I'd find in a head coach, and this is something really small, but he was a head coach for Team Canada at the U17. It looks like a development team potentially.
Okay. Yeah. So like their second team. Because back then, I think it was they had their A team.
But
and
there's
their
still
B
lots
team,
of
the
NHLers.
U17s.
There's NHLers on those teams.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Back in this tournament. Yeah, just looking through the rosters in 24. Yeah. That was the only thing to find real head coach. He was a video coach. Here's his big stance in Hockey Canada. Video coach.
Yeah.
U18s. Helenka Gretzky. Video coach for the World Juniors. Video coach for the World Championships. Video coach for the Deutschland Cup. I don't know what that is, but that sounds awesome. Video coach again the next year for the World Juniors, and again he was the assistant coach in 2015 for the World Championships. Then his NHL career started actually in the office. Director of Hockey Operations the first year for the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, an organization that knows winning. He was an assistant coach at the World Cup of Hockey, Caleb. Interesting.
Four Nations, you mean?
No.
Oh, 2016,
2017
Sorry.
World Cup of Hockey. And that's interesting because that was a big event back in its heyday, right?
Yeah.
Can you search up who else were the coaches for that? I want to see who was around it, but a guy
was it Mike Babcock still around then?
Maybe, but a guy who's never been around behind an actual NHL bench before, been a lot of Canada. It's been once for Canada at this time at the World Championship just the year prior. But he hasn't been around at back of an NHL bench, and he was the assistant coach at the World Cup of Hockey. So,
yeah, no, it's interesting. Those are the GMs. Oh yeah, Mike Babcock was the head coach. So Mike Babcock, Barry Trotz, Joel Quenville. Is it Andrew Peters? Could be incorrect. Claude Julien, Bill Peters. Yes, he's a loser. How was he still around? When did that thing come out?
Here we go. He was the director of hockey operations in Vegas from 2016 to 2019, and then he became an assistant coach before the playoffs in 2020, where he was an assistant coach, and then he won the Stanley Cup with the Vegas Golden Knights whenever they won it, 2023, 22, 23. He was an assistant coach for Vegas for 4 years during their peak times where they've always been good, but won a Stanley Cup with them. He was an assistant coach and the director of hockey operations back in 2020 for the Spengler Cup, which we'll also touch on today. Sad news for Team Canada at the Spengler Cup. And then his last 2 years, he was with the Dallas Stars as the assistant coach. So it just goes from good team to good team. Like, he's never been on a bad team in his hockey. Is that a result of him? I mean, he probably has a little slice of the pie, but of course, no. And then it really takes off with Team Canada, assistant coach of the Four Nations face-off, and then now World Juniors. He was the associate coach at the World Juniors, I think, this last year. I don't know. Anyways, to present day, this is where we're at. That's his whole career. Guy, never been a head coach. I know you're a bit touchy on that because he's now the head coach of the World Juniors and the World Championships.
I mean, I think it's just interesting that they go with somebody who's never been a head coach. I don't think it's very hard. This might be a hot take. I don't think it's very hard to manage people at the men's world championships or be the head coach for this. You're going to always have, like, when it comes down to Sweden, USA, sure, you might be in tough, but pretty much every line matchup, your structure, I mean, I guess the structure can be a big factor. You're going to be fine with some of the best players in the world, right? We've already got, it might be more, how is he going to manage? It might be like, this might be a Hockey Canada thing where he has been told by Hockey Canada that he has to throw Gavin McKenna on the top 9, like stuff like that. Like I wonder, like, because we know that, like, okay, so the 3 3 assistant coaches were Spencer Carberry, Ryan Huska, and Sens legend DJ Smith. I feel like those 3 guys would scratch McKenna every game because he's not nearly as good as the other players. So I wonder, like, stuff like that might be a cop out. They hire somebody that will do what they want him to do. Stuff like that as well. That might be a part of it. World Juniors will be interesting. I think this story is definitely more World Juniors, like a men's championship. I don't really care. I wonder what it's going to be like with this World Juniors team, where I don't think he's employed next year. He gets to just sit around and watch all these kids play for half a year. I think that's what's pretty interesting to me, is that he gets to just go around and scout these players and kind of make his decisions on his own. Whereas Dale Hunter, Dave Cameron, they're coaching, like their full-time job is coaching.
Yeah.
Where this guy's now full-time job is pick the team. And I know he won't be the only one. And now Dale Hunter and Dave Cameron aren't the only ones either. But this is kind of his full-time gig, which I kind of like, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends what his hockey brain's like, and depends what kind of players and what kind of team he wants. But I don't mind that he's going to be sitting around watching these guys play. So,
You know, he's also got he's got his perspectives from every single,
I do like
every
that too.
single instance of or an organization, right? Yeah. Like he's been around many, many winning teams.
Yeah.
He's witnessed what success takes. That's also going to be interesting. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited for it.
I wonder how he's going to manage 18, 19, 20-year-olds though. Yeah, that's my biggest question.
Yeah, I agree. That's the bigger one. Absolutely.
That's why they always go with a junior coach for these tournaments too, is because you're coaching. That's your full-time gig, is coaching these players at this age. Even USA, I know it's a little different because NCAA's got 23-year-olds, but you're coaching players around that age. So and you're scouting, I guess. Like these coaches are also scouting 16-year-olds. So when 2 years from now, if they're the head coach, they've got some intel already of some of these players too. So I don't know. Yeah. It's gonna be fascinating come the World Juniors. I don't have much of a read on the men's national team. He obviously is going to know a good chunk of players. He's on the 4 Nations team. Was he at the Olympics this year? I believe he was. Did you say that? Maybe it was a 22 team.
He was. No, he was.
Okay.
He was. I didn't even mention that. Holy crap! Yeah, assistant coach at the Olympic Games this year too.
So he's gonna have he knows a lot of these players already, and he must have a good connection with a bunch of these players. That's my guess. And he must have I don't know if he'll have a connection with Jason Spencer, Brad Treliving, and Kyle Dubas, but he has got a great connection with Hockey Canada. So. Yeah.
Well, he probably does. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Has one with Dubas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's a well-known guy. He's been everywhere. He probably knows everyone. So,
yeah, hockey's a tight-knit community. They say up there in the show, man. So everyone knows each other. All right, Misha Donskov, officially named the head coach of the World Championships this year and the World Juniors next year. So we'll get to see his debut behind the bench very, very soon. Caleb, a little bit of a sidetrack. Fun fact, and it's going to come out of left field, but Brad Treliving, okay?
Yeah.
Brad Treliving. Do you know who Brad Treliving's dad is?
Yeah. I don't know his first name, but he's the owner of Boston Pizza. Why?
Yeah. Dude, this guy, do you know the show Dragon's Den?
Yeah.
Dude, this guy is like one of the mainstays on Dragon's Den, which is like, if you don't know what Dragon's Den is for all of our listeners, it's like American Shark Tank, correct?
Yes.
Pardon me, Canadian Shark Tank? Big that?
Yes.
Dude, I know this guy. I just didn't put the connection together. I just recognized his face, and I was just searching around the other day, and I was like, "Man, this is cool. This is cool."
I mean, Brad Treliving has a good chunk of ownership in Boston Pizza as well. Mm-hmm. So, the Leafs go from Boston Pizza owner to, not official yet, but John Chayka, who owns over 60 Wendy's franchises in the USA. So. It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, it just sounds like, who's got the money, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, if you can manage Wendy's employees, you surely can manage NHL players. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just thought that was cool. I thought I'd just, a little bit of a talking point too.
No, Brad
Jim
Treliving was my
Treliving.
GM for a while. I know,
It's
but
true.
yeah, it's pretty cool though.
Jim Treliving on Dragon's
Yes.
Den, man.
Yes.
That's so funny. Okay. Let's get back on topic. Let's go over to the PWHL, Caleb, as the Ottawa Charge.
We're not doing
played their
Spengler?
first. I don't care. We can do Spengler, sure.
We'll just stick with Hockey Canada stuff, and then we'll move on to the.
All right.
leagues.
All right, sure, Caleb. I know you're very disappointed about this, so
And I'm not, but
I know. I just said that, because
I only put it on the list because I wondered if you'd be
No, we
disappointed
gotta
that we have
talk
an
about
hockey.
it.
I know, but are you disappointed?
I'm slightly, yeah, slightly.
I'm not disappointed.
I know this tournament, I think this tournament, it's inbred itself in, culture for me. You know what I mean? Around Christmas time, of course, it's World Junior season. But
be
during
honest,
the
how many
day-
games have you watched of the Spengler Cup in the past
I used-
5 years?
5 years? I think a decent amount.
Really?
Maybe.
I've watched maybe half of one year.
Half of one?
Half
I say at least watch one game a year. I know. I watched 3 this year, maybe 2,
Really?
maybe 2.
Okay. I mean,
I think-
the only thing I like about the Spengler Cup is seeing the roster list come out. Oh my gosh, this guy was a rookie for the Blackhawks in 2022. What went wrong? Stuff like that. That's it. I don't even watch the games.
Yeah.
I just like the roster coming out and it's just funny washed up bums playing.
I watch at least one Canada game a year. At least. That most of the time it's more. Do I remember, could I tell you what happened 2 years ago? No. But it's
I don't think
just
they've won in a while.
No. The thing is, it's Hockey Canada gets itself involved in many tournaments. Obviously, we know most of them are, U18s just happened, World Championship.
That's mostly double
all
IHF,
that.
but yeah.
Yeah, true. But this is what I mean. But a tournament like the Spengler Cup, where they've sent the team for so many years, and this sounds like just a one-off. This is what I'm hearing. Sounds like just a
might
one-off, and they'll be back next year potentially. But why Hockey Canada, the biggest hockey organization country-wise in the world, can't get a team this year for the Spengler Cup? A mega organization can't do it for 1 year.
Oh, it's just probably the agreement with HC Davos.
I understand that, but you can't get one. You just can't get it done.
Well, I think there's people are all saying it's Hockey Canada's fault. Nobody's saying that HC Davos doesn't want them there. You don't know that. I haven't seen anything come out.
I think it
comes down to
the
money,
Canadian
but-
market. I think the Canadian market. I mean, this is from a North American perspective, obviously, but so many more eyes on this tournament, man. Would you tell me this? Would you HC Davos as a team? What, they play in the Switzerland League, correct? The
Yeah,
Swiss
they're
League?
in Switzerland. Yes. Davos
Would
is
you
in
know who
Switzerland.
they were Would you know who they were as a team if it wasn't for the Spengler Cup?
I probably would know Davos because they've got probably the most historic rink out in Europe. In that thing, they pack their games for regular season games.
But you
in the Swiss
say
League.
that, but would that be? You don't know that for sure if it wasn't for the Spengler Cup, man.
I don't think so.
I think the Canada brings in a decent amount of revenue for this tournament. It has to, just broadcast wise, numbers, eyes.
But they are only broadcasting to Canada.
I know, but there's still the broadcasting rights have to pay something back to HC Davos.
I guess, but
They have to get a little bit of a cut.
Still don't think. I don't think TSN's upset that they don't get to broadcast this no more either.
No, I don't.
Surely,
I
and
agree
we're.
with that, yeah.
I guess the World Juniors are out west this year. The World Juniors usually cross over. There's been times where you have, Canada would be playing during the World Juniors in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. The Spengler team will be playing during World Juniors. More eyes will be on the World Juniors. It only
As there
happens
always
sometimes, and it
As
won't
there always
happen
is.
this year. But
Yeah.
I don't think enough people watch to care for it.
No.
And I know that wearing a leaf on your
culturally awesome.
wearing a Canadian jersey, playing for your country in a club tournament is cool, and not a lot of people get the privilege, and this is a good privilege. But it's a historic tournament. Like, do we really care for it that much?
Listen, yes, I do. You want to know why?
Why?
Sens wouldn't have made the playoffs if it wasn't for the Spengler Cup.
I knew you were going to say that.
Mr. James Reimer put himself on the map because of going to the Spengler Cup this year. Sens pick him up because of his amazing performance, even though they didn't go deep in the tournament at all. And what does he do? Helps the Sens wins a couple games down the stretch to get them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the Spengler Cup produces NHL talent, and you can't tell me otherwise because James Reimer wasn't in the league. He plays the Spengler Cup. He's in the league. So I get what you're saying. It's just like it's like a cult. For me, it's just like ingrained in my mind. You know, like, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, the World Juniors start tomorrow. Oh yeah, the Spengler Cup is also on. You know what I mean? It's just like, and it's been around for so many years, and the U.S. just started sending a team last year, and now Canada's not sending a team anymore. Like, that also sticks in my mind a little bit. Like, ooh, you know, especially with how many tournaments the USA has recently won, and now they're sending a team to a tournament we've historically sent the team for years, and now we're not. You know what I mean? Like, that also leaves like a bad taste in my mouth. Like, not in a, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just don't really like that. I wish Canada, you know, of course wants to send a team. Like, just two big organizations should find a way to send a team, but it's whatever. Okay, Cal, no more Spengler Cup.
It's 6 teams, like, and one last point, like, the only thing you can think about of the Spengler Cup is the 2012 NHL lockout year where they had like Bergeron, Spezza, John Tavares. And they took a hit, like an easy 7-2 win, and there was a good chunk of Russian players on the team that they beat, which was it Davos? Yes, it was Davos. Like, that's the only time I can really remember, at least it being somewhat of an interesting thing, was when the lockout was that year. So I don't know. It's interesting stuff, but I don't have much to read onto it. Sorry, go ahead and
don't
segue.
Forget. Hey, Patrick Kane was on that team too.
Yes, on the Davos team. Yes, that was an interesting game, but it was a 7-2 Canada win. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, Caleb. No more Canada this year at the Spengler Cup. It's gonna be a little like it's not gonna be fully weird, but it's gonna be like something in the back of my mind. It's like, oh, you know, Canada's not playing this year at the Spengler Cup. I don't know. I just find that this holiday season. But let's move on now to the PWHL, Caleb. The Ottawa Charge played their first playoff game this year. Montreal starts today as time of recording. Time of upload, they would have played 2 days ago. And actually, so does Ottawa. Ottawa plays game 2 today as well at time of recording. So, of course, unfortunately, we only have the recap for game 1, but it was a 2-1 Boston Fleet victory in, I don't want to say dominating fashion, but I'll just say Gwyneth Phillips stood on her head and really gave Ottawa a chance, but unfortunately can only find one goal for the Charge.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I think it's pretty cool that the logo is on in Boston, but
as it should be.
Yeah, and they got the PWHL thing on the ice as well, playoffs or whatever. That was pretty cool. But in the fact of the game, yeah, it's a goaltending matchup, and that's exactly what we saw once again. Obviously, Ottawa's goal was on the power play as well. They opened the scoring in the first period. But in the end, it was 2 even strength goals that Boston scored in the second period, and even the shots. You look at the shot charts. Fleet have 28 shots on goal. Ottawa has 18. That's going to be tough to out goalie when you're outshot like that a lot. So, and you're not scoring enough. So,
a quality of chances for Boston were much better than Ottawa's too. Like Gwen Phillips. Dude, Ottawa's got to buy one for Gwyneth Phillips this series at least, because she stood on her head in a road crowd in game 1. Just fantastic. And talk about the goal scorer, Caleb, for Ottawa. They had a 5-minute power play, and I know you can call her the GOAT. You've had some criticism on her in the past, but overall she is our GOAT. Jocelyn Larocque, the net front presence, as Larocque gets a piece of it and gets past Aaron Frankel to open the scoring. It was a 1-0 charge game going into the second period, Cal.
Yeah, I mean, it was, of course, it was going to be Jocelyn Larocque. When I don't watch a crazy amount of PW games, especially Ottawa Charge games. Of course, the one time I tune in, it's Jocelyn Larocque. On the power play as well, mind you. Power play. You would never think that Jocelyn Larocque would find the power play, but you forget the talent is distributed by 8 teams, so I'm just going to find power play time.
A 5-minute power play, too.
Yeah, I know.
So it was deep.
I know, but still, it's pretty electric in my opinion. So happy for her, sad for the Charge, even though I'm not really cheering for the Charge at this point. Gotta stay in tune with rivals here, but that's shout out Aaron Frankel. I mean, there's only 17 saves and 18 shots, but still, like that's not what crazy. The series is going to be. That's what we noted when we did our preview on Thursday.
Yeah.
So.
To be fair to Jocelyn Larocque, dude, she played 4 more minutes than any other Charge player.
There you go. Wow. I mean,
that's insane.
It's a big shout.
And on the side of Boston,
there's a lot of
crazy stat, but
power play. There's a lot of special teams.
Yeah, there was 6 penalties for Ottawa, 5 for Boston, and I guess Haley Wynn, who plays both sides. Oh, pardon me. It's of course she's at the top. I couldn't see how many minutes. This is crazy. Megan Keller played 30 minutes in a 60-minute game.
It was like she played over half the game.
Half the game. She did play more than half the game. That is astronomical.
Yeah.
Holy crap. You don't see 30 minutes in a 60-minute game ever.
Well, like you mentioned, there was 11 minor or 10 minor penalties plus a 5-minute. You're playing both sides. You're playing 5-on-5. You're playing everything. You're gonna play a lot of minutes, right? So, I mean, who is next? Alina? No. She also led the team on what did she lead the team? Scoring chances. She had 5 scoring chances according to Kyle Cushman. But yeah, Haley Wynn was pretty close, 28 minutes. So, I mean,
top pair goes to work.
She wasn't on the top pair, actually. They split them up.
Oh, really?
They put Riley Brangman with Keller. And
they put 28 minutes for someone who didn't play top pairing minutes?
Well, 5-on-5, they're the same. They're different pairings. How much of them are they actually playing? And you know what? They definitely would have. Like, it changes come playoff hockey. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're going to flip the pairings a lot. And basically, it looks like my guess is if Megan Keller's not out there, Haley Wynn is out there. And that's kind of how it split out. Like, those two, one of those two were always on the ice. That's my guess.
Yeah. So. Very distributed minutes on the side of the Ottawa Charge. They went with a lot less of a top-heavy minute load and kind of distributed it.
They didn't even play their 7th defender. Or didn't ice her. She didn't touch the ice.
Yeah. Man. Like, just even looking at some like face-offs, just another aspect of the game. Charge only won 36% of the face-offs, 63 dominance from the Boston Fleet, and that adds up in a game. So, hey, penalty-filled game, but the Ottawa Charge are down 0-1 to the Boston Fleet, and well, when time of upload, it will be a different result than what it is right now as I'm speaking to it. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Shout out.
Sure.
Shout out Kate Riley. Was an undrafted rookie. She played 20 minutes for the Ottawa Charge.
Wow. This year? Undrafted rookie this year.
Yeah. Wow. Played 20 minutes. Over 20 minutes. So.
Yeah.
There you go. As of time of recording, the Montreal game is tonight. We're recording on Saturday. So we will definitely touch on it next episode. And next episode, there'll be a few games done because
Yes, and you know what? It's actually in 5 minutes. Puck drop.
I thought it was 7:30 tonight.
It looks like I'm on the PWHL website. 2:00 for Montreal. 7:00 for
it is 2:00.
So it's in 5 minutes. So that's fine. Maybe go turn that on after this podcast is done. Either that or the gold medal game. I might
double
turn on
screen.
the gold medal game for
it's playoffs.
Yeah,
man.
I guess so. True. All right, Kel. What's our final topic? Yeah, NHL playoffs.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, man. Whew. Okay, this is another one Kind of hard to talk about, but we do have one made headliner for today, as we don't know the results of the Montreal series, which will end on Sunday. But Caleb, I know you're going to be happy about this. The back-to-back Western Conference champions, the Edmonton Oilers, have been eliminated in 6 games to the once thought underdogs Anaheim Ducks.
It's awesome. I mean, I've been cheering against a lot of teams I chose in my bracket because I'd rather them win, i.e. I want the Habs to win even though I picked them to lose. Same with Ducks. I mean, Mammoth just got knocked out last night. That was tough, but it's good. It's finally over. The Oilers, man, they're chopped. What are you supposed to do when Connor McDavid sucks and is injured? There's not much you can do. Goaltending was pretty crummy down the stretch, and there's more takeaways about what's going to happen next year than there are about this playoff series. So it's fun stuff. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. Clip goes viral, I'd say, of the post game of Connor McDavid.
Yeah, it's not
saying
wrong.
that he's not wrong. No, average team with high expectations, you're going to be disappointed with whatever the result is.
Yeah.
Caleb, with those, of course, we haven't heard the postseason presser yet.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be pretty boring, I think. He said what he wanted to say after that game, so
yeah.
Go ahead.
It's just speaking from the heart there from McDavid, which a lot of the time maybe we see, I don't want to call it robotic answers, but obviously media-trained answers. And
I guess.
like all the conversation, there's always going to be talks about what's going to happen with McDavid. Does this change anything or sway that conversation in any
No, I think
sort of
it's
way?
still the same. I think there's a good chance he gets traded next offseason if it doesn't work out again. Could be this offseason if there's an offer out there. Obviously, the first thing you do is you fire everyone. That's the clear number one. You have one last shot with a completely new management, completely new coaching staff. If it doesn't work next year, it is over. Like, it is officially over. I'm surprised Connor McDavid gave this franchise another chance. And I'm surprised he's probably going to, it's definitely going to give him another chance. He's not, even if he wants a trade, he's not going to get traded, I think, this year.
Yeah.
So, unless it really is public, like Quinn Hughes, and he's saying he's going to leave and you're not going to get anything back. That'd be pathetic. So, I mean, the guy takes a discount, takes $12 million for 2 years. And this is the team you ice out. Like, Vasily Podkolzin was arguably the best forward this year in this playoff series. It's when McDavid wasn't good. And I mean, Draisaitl's pretty darn close, but it was probably Podkolzin. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, very noticeable out there.
There's one other that I'm blanking on, but Podkolzin was the best one. He was playing with Draisaitl. So it's a bad look for the Oilers, which is a great look for some teams that need a number 1 C in a couple years from now. So it's going to be interesting, and we've been saying this for a while. Matthews might be gone. Tkachuk might be gone. Quinn Hughes is already gone. It's a fascinating thing that a Canadian captain on a Canadian team might just be knocking on the door to get out. So it's tough. Yeah. I wonder what they do, man. Like, Jake Wallman's contract just kicks in this year, so you're not moving him. I think the obvious answer is Darnell Nurse is got to go out the door. Is probably one that will go out the door. It's just, if you're the Oilers, I don't know if you're not getting anything back, and at this point, how much like anything back that's actually valuable. Like, you maybe you get a 7th round pick, but you're not wanting to retain on that contract. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're giving up money or if you're giving up anything to take on to get rid of that contract. So,
yeah. Listen,
it's fascinating.
Yeah. Leon Draisaitl actually leads the NHL in points this playoffs. 10 points in 6 games. Yeah. He was good. I think another guy we should give a shout out to is Kasperi Kapanen.
Oh, yes, that was him.
6 points. 6 points in 6 games.
Yeah, that was the one I was blanking
4
on.
goals. Yeah, I figured so. He looked really good. So yeah, give him plus 7 too, dude. +7 in a series they lose.
Yeah, and they got blown out the one game too. Was it 7-4? Yeah, or blown out 3 goals.
And you know what? His teammate, and you're gonna love this, had one more point than him.
Was it
his name? Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard, 7 points in 6 games, Caleb. He was a -7.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear what Evan Bouchard can and cannot do, and clearly he can score on the power. He can gain points on the power play and be a positive player in the power play, but clearly everything else he sucks on. So, like, I think the Oilers would benefit the most if the NHL allowed you to dress another skater and just throw him as a 7th defenseman. Like, that's pretty clearly what they have to do at this point. So, and you can't ice them. Like, you have to ice them with 6 defenders because you're gonna blow out your other 5-5-5. So, it's a tough look for Evan Bouchard, and clearly it's a bad contract, and clearly, I mean, playoffs don't count, but definitely it should not be near the conversation for the Norris, and definitely should not be near the conversation for top 5, maybe even top 10 defenders in the NHL right now. So. I don't know. It's pretty chopped, man. But I mean,
hey, said loud and proud from a Flames fan. Mm-hmm. Loud and proud from a Flames fan.
Well,
okay,
it doesn't matter. Everybody should know this by now.
Okay, true, maybe. Talked about getting rid of everybody, but the Oilers have at the beginning of the season locked up Chris Knobloch for the next 3 years.
Yeah, he's fired. Doesn't matter. He's gone.
He signed with the Tails. Just going to buy him out.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, just fire him and pay out his contract. That's what they do. But
yeah, just throwing away money, man. Just throwing away money. Screw it.
Well, you have to throw away money when you've got the best player in the world. You need to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe of course, you seem to trust him at the beginning of the year, though. Signed for a 3-year deal. Well, that seems.
I mean, I don't read much into it. I think you have to. It's a bad, stupid way the NHL works these days, but you kind of have to have your coach locked up for longer than the last year, because players are just going to play like they know the coach will be gone next year because he's not locked up, and they're not going to ask him back. And that works in probably 90% of the franchises, so all 100 do it. So, I mean... Yeah. I don't read into it that much, and the Oilers, come on, they've got enough money to throw around. They'll be fine. Doesn't really matter. Like, if we were talking about maybe Columbus, it would be a different story. Carolina, different story. But, no, the Oilers will be fine. They fire him. They fire every assistant known to mankind. They hire Bruce Cassidy or something like that, and hire a new GM. I don't even remember the GM's name at this point. That's how bad it's been. GM of the Oilers is not Stan Bowman. It is Stan Bowman, who is Ken Holland is on the Kings now, yes. Stan Bowman. Yeah, goodbye, buddy. That was a terrible Jari trade.
Terrible. Didn't play. Yeah, that is just, oh God.
Like, I don't even know we've talked about the Jari trade probably 2 or 3 times now, and I'm not going to bring up the whole thing again, but you get rid of Stuart Skinner, which you're supposed to get rid of Calvin Pickard. But anyways, you basically trade for Jari hoping he can rewrite the ship, but he's also getting paid $5 million. So some very interesting stuff on the Oilers side. I'm excited to see some trades finally thrown out there. I saw a really good one. It was Nick Suzuki, Ivan Demidov in the 2020
gosh, from the
6th first round pick.
Whatever. Yeah.
Honestly, that is not a crazy bad trade. You're replacing Nick Suzuki, you lose Demidov and a first round pick, but you get Connor McDavid, and you're still keeping a good chunk of your players around. So I think the story would be more interesting if you could do Slafkovsky instead of Suzuki. But I don't know. I don't even think he wants to go to the Habs, if we're being honest. I don't know if he would want that. Go from an even higher expectation, from a high expectations to super high expectations with that team. I don't even know if he'd want to do that, but probably be the best chance of winning a cup. in a couple years.
Yeah,
from
I was
now.
about to say, a team that has turned around and turned themselves into a powerhouse all of a sudden and has a very bright future. So
we like a good point that's been made out there is the Habs are going to be thrown out there for cup favorites for in the next 4 or 5 years. Like they probably will be, if not the team to beat, the second best team in the East next year, projected wise. So it's probably his best chance to win a cup is on that team with all those players took discounts. Cole Caulfield took a discount. Nick Suzuki somewhat took a discount. Slavkovsky, he's not getting paid a lot. Hudson's contract, did he just get paid or is that upcoming?
he did.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he took a discount too, right?
He's got an extension at least.
Yeah, extension, yeah. Where is it? It's 8-year, $7 million deal, so that's what, 9 mil AAV, 8.8 mil AAV.
8.85.
That's a discount. Yeah. That is a discount for Lane Hudson. So go over there. I think that would be the best spot. I don't really think anywhere else would be interesting. Maybe the Panthers have a 1-2 punch at Barkov and McDavid. It's just they don't have much to give up. So I don't know. It's going to be hard to trade him because not many teams have the assets to give you what McDavid's worth is. So, but it couldn't be more ecstatic. Couldn't be more ecstatic for McDavid being out of the playoffs. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know what they do. I think the next thing that could be interesting that pops up into my mind is you run a Kawhi trade and trade out Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, I mean, what would that do to McDavid though if you trade Draisaitl?
Same thing it did with Kyle Lowry.
I mean, Kyle Lowry was great, but he's no McDavid.
I know, but they did still win. I guess it'd be a little tough because was DeMar really the best player in the Raptors? I don't really know.
I would say so. Yeah.
You'd say so in the trades. I guess it would be a little different because you're trading away your second best player.
Yeah.
So maybe it is McDavid.
Also,
maybe you trade away McDavid for Matthew Tkachuk or something. No, well, it wouldn't be Matthew Tkachuk, but something like that.
No.
1-year guys. Are any great free agents next year? Alex Ovechkin. Trade for Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Throw it up there right now.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
Just throwing out stupid names at this point.
God, no.
Maybe it's Brady
brutal.
Tkachuk.
Yeah, come to Ottawa.
Yeah.
You can have Brady and a center. Maybe probably Dylan
Stützle,
Cousins.
Shane Pinto.
No, it's Timmy Stan.
Well, I think the ask is probably Stützle and Tkachuk to start the deal.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think that's what will be shipped out, but I think Stützle has got to be the first player back.
Logan Hensler.
Still, you need
First
more
round
than that.
pick.
You probably might have to take on like Darnell Nurse for a year.
For 1 year, the Suns got 13 million cap space.
What about like a Bouchard for Sanderson and Draisaitl?
1 for 1?
No,
1 for 2?
Yeah, Sanderson and Stützle for Draisaitl and Bouchard.
Oof. Oh.
I think you take that as a Sen. You probably have to add more if you're the Sens still.
1 sec.
I don't know what Draisaitl's contract looks like, if I'm being honest.
I'm
I'm
looking at it
totally
right
out
now.
of the I used
That's
to
what I'm
be
looking at
so
right now.
into the contract stuff. I don't really remember much. I mean, it's because I've been working July 1st
he's
for
got
the
a
longest time.
14 mil for next like 7 years.
What's Stützle's? Is he 8.5, 9?
He's making Stützle's making 8.
Bouchard's making a good chunk of money too. I don't know. It's gonna be fascinating. You might have to ask for maybe
8.3.
maybe you have to throw in
No,
a
we're not
goalie.
trading anybody. We're not trading anybody. Go trade.
Well, it's just gonna be fun. The trades are gonna be very fun. Maybe if you're the Oilers, you like the Leafs keep their top 5 pick. Do a completely a big swap.
Easton
Nylander
Cowan.
for McDavid and Cowan.
Easton Cowan,
and
Nylander,
and the pick, first round pick.
first round pick, and maybe one more thing. Bo Grew.
he has like zero value. I mean, sure, you can throw
I know.
him.
I was just fun. I was just being funny, more or less. Boys love.
It'd be
Bo Grew.
definitely Ben Danford and Easton Cowan would be
Ben Danford.
But I mean,
Maybe,
if they throw in that first round pick, like if the Leafs are picking 4 or 5, and you take Verhoff, Chase Reed, maybe you don't need
Maybe Joseph Wall.
Danford.
Joseph Wall.
No, they have to go out and get a legit goalie. I don't think they're going to try that again. Like we both know that Joseph Wall will be terrible in the Oilers. Like they're still playing Jack Campbell. Why would they want another question mark of a goalie? So I don't know. It's fun stuff. I'm happy for the Oilers. We'll see how the Habs do. That was pretty depressing last night. They had that power play.
No goals at home. No goals at home, man.
It's fine. It was Vasilevsky's great. Dobish was great. Both teams had a gazillion chances. Like it was probably the best 1-0 game.
Yeah, that
ever.
power play, man. It just seems so destined. It seems
Yeah,
so
it
destined.
did,
And like, I remember a couple who was it? Slav on the near perfect seam pass from Hudson. Slav wide open Gage. It's like just hits the mesh on the outside of the net.
Yeah.
Oh man,
tough.
it was so there. Gage Gonzalez, the winner.
Yeah.
With honestly assisted by one of my new favorite players that's emerged in this playoffs. I knew nothing about him before this, but Dominic James, man, what a beauty this kid is. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, no clue who Dominic James was. And I just saw it for game one, Habs Lightning. Oh, number 17. His last name is James. That's freaking awesome. And then turned 6th round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks 4 years ago. Just played at Minnesota Duluth for the last 4 years, and his first season in the NHL. And he's got 5 points in his first 4 playoff games.
Yeah.
He's played 43 regular season NHL games this year alone. In the playoffs, he's over a point per game.
Yeah.
This guy's a beauty. He's one of my new favorites. My new underrated favorites. So, I love him.
I mean, underrated as well. We can talk. Well, obviously, like, I don't think Zach Benson was super underrated. That would be another one he scored again against Boston.
Yeah.
I think my favorite player in the entire playoffs so far has got to be Ian Moore of the Ducks. Playing as a forward.
Fourth line. Give me the whole fourth line.
He's a defender playing as a forward and he's thrown out there. He's playing fourth line minutes as he's playing as a forward when he's a defender. He's played defense his entire life. And he's playing against McDavid. They're putting out their fourth line against McDavid with ease, like pretty chill. Jeff Viola was the other one, and I'm forgetting
Tim
the
Wash.
other. Tim Washy. Yes.
Washy,
Yeah, Tim Washy. They're throwing him out like late in the fourth, late in the third period against McDavid.
I mean, hey,
It's awesome.
if he's played defense his whole life, it's like a third defender.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what it was, and they've been doing
And this
that.
line is scored, man. This line is scored.
I know. Jeff Fields scored like 2 or 3 goals. He was from the Sharks.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great pickup. I think he might have pulled a third round pick, and like that might not even be worth it. I mean, he might be worth a 2nd round pick now. So it's and he also like destroyed Draisaitl. I think was it that last game 6. He like completely lit up Draisaitl. Big hit on him as well. So that fourth line has been really fun to watch, and the fact that they've scored more than 1 goal is insane to me. So and also like Brett Howden on Vegas was a cool.
Oh my gosh, man!
OT shorthanded goal.
Just what a shot! First of all, catches the Mammoth sleeping for a second on of course. I mean, on a power play, man. You're back in your own end. You're just thinking you're going to reset.
Tough.
Little lift of the stick, turn around, boom, back of your net.
Yeah.
What a shot! Was it double OT too? Double OT?
It was, I believe.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I stayed up and watched that game. One of my favorite things, staying up till like 2:30 in the morning watching it. Maybe not one of my favorite things, but like it's just like something you got to do. Stay up late, watch the double overtime games. I remember doing that for the Wyatt Johnston Dallas Minnesota winner. It's scenes, bro, and then you can go to bed afterwards. That was a really good goal. I love that goal from Brett Howden. Shout out. Probably got maybe some extra shackles on his next contract, maybe because of it. So.
I guess, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not getting paid $1 gazillion, but I mean, yeah, Brett Howden's been fun. Vegas has been. I mean, they'd knock out the Utah Mammoth. Mammoth, man, we're up 2-1, and it looked like they had game 4 with ease, and then turns around, man. So it's tough. One last Oilers thing. What are the odds Sergei Bobrovsky, who's a free agent this year, will be starting in net for the Oilers opening night.
For the Oilers,
like that's the most easy like prediction ever. He will be an Oiler this offseason.
All right.
Right? What's your percentage?
Maybe 25.
25. Actually, and they are doing. I got Twitter up right now.
15.
They are doing their locker cleanout day right now, as we speak. 40 minutes ago, Connor McDavid. The organization as a whole has taken a step back.
Oh God, he's gone.
Yeah, he's
gone.
Yeah, I think pack it up. Maybe like Sabres got to replace Alex Tuck. Maybe he goes to Sabres. That'd be fun. But all right,
it'll be something.
yeah. Let's wrap her up. We got draft lottery on Tuesday. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have a thought. I just pulled up Tankathon. That's my thought. That's what we're doing. One last Tankathon, Caleb. The NHL Draft Lottery Simulator. I know you'll be locked on this on a Tuesday night. I'll be tuned in, of course. I like the draft lottery. They always do it in a fun, entertaining way.
No, they don't.
So
it's the most boring thing of all time.
Here we go.
Remember when ESPN leaked it before they announced it?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
That was the worst thing ever.
So stupid. Yeah. I remember actually last year we were actually live recording a podcast when I found out the New York Islanders won the draft lottery.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. So, all right, Caleb, here we go. One last draft lottery. Here we go. The official True North Ice draft lottery winner projection. All right, here we go. Number 5, Caleb. Number five, which is interesting because the Toronto Maple Leafs are projected at number 5. And they will stay at number 5 and keep their pick in the True North Ice final draft lottery simulator. Next up, a team who is dropping one spot. The New York Rangers are down to 4th.
Okay.
At 3rd, where the Flames are projected to get. Is that correct?
I think they're 4
Are they
behind the
top 3?
Rangers,
4?
Blackhawks, and Canucks.
Okay. At 3, the Vancouver Canucks have dropped
so we get a top
1
2?
to 3. At first
please
overall,
give me 2.
I'll announce it between Chicago and Calgary that the first overall pick in the 2026 NHL Draft Lottery, the Chicago Blackhawks will be selecting first overall, and the Calgary Flames get 2nd. The Flames jump 2, the Blackhawks jump 1, and Connor Bedard gets his cousin, Gavin McKenna, on the first line.
That's actually, as a Flames fan, I'd rather pick 2nd. I think I mentioned this in an earlier podcast as well. I'd rather not take the chance of picking between Stenberg and McKenna, because it definitely is McKenna right now, and we'll see what the Worlds do, because it looks like Stenberg will be playing for Sweden as well, and actually Bjork will be playing for Sweden as well if they make the team. They're both at camp. McKenna's already on the team, but we'll see what that looks like. But I do not want to be the team that has to take McKenna and then he doesn't pan out and Stenberg does. You know what I mean? Whereas if it's the other way around and the first overall takes McKenna, he pans out, Stenberg doesn't. Well, Stenberg could have went first, right? So,
True.
But it's tough. Chase Reed's right there, man. Chase Reed, Kel Malhotra. I don't know. It's going to be very hard.
So here's the luck of it, dude. I just did another one. St. Louis jumps 10.
Yeah.
Florida jumps 6. Calgary's down to the 6th overall pick. Toronto's choosing 7th.
Toronto won't choose 7. It'll be Boston. But
yeah, Boston, yes. Yeah. But that's just, Toronto loses the pick.
It's going to be interesting. I'm still very curious where teams will go. Like, my guess is after this tournament for Verhoff, he might not even be in the top 5 now. Like, Malhotra is probably the best center now. You could even argue Bjork has been a better center than Ty Lawrence has been. It's going to be fascinating. This top 10 has moved a lot. Like, a lot. So, and some of these teams, especially like Florida, Toronto, those teams will definitely be picking for a position, not specifically the best player available, I think. So it'll be interesting stuff. Like Verhoff, man, we didn't talk about this. He didn't have a bad tournament, but he didn't have a good tournament. And this guy just didn't play in the power play either until the last game when they really need something to go on that last power play. Some team might luck out and get Verhoff at 6 or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Caleb. It's gonna be fun, and we'll probably have a breakdown potentially. Oh, maybe episode next
Probably
Thursday.
next Thursday or Monday. I don't know if we're gonna do a Thursday episode.
Okay,
but we'll see.
But hey, we'll have a breakdown probably of the draft lottery and where all the Canadian teams are picking. Okay, Caleb, any final thoughts on today's episode?
No, it's playoff hockey, man, and it's been fun. It's much better than basketball. Remember that. I know Toronto's in the playoffs. I think they did just win last night again to force Game 7.
They did. Wow, scenes.
Could care less about basketball, and I'm just glad that hockey is way more entertaining. I mean, I've kept my eye on the Lakers. You know, I'm a big Bronny James fan out there, so they move on, but now they're playing OKC. I guess is pretty good, but basketball sucks. Yes. Hockey's been the best sport of all time currently. There's nothing better. And cannot wait for Tuesday. Could be the biggest day in franchise history. Could be the worst day in franchise history. So be fun stuff. Fun stuff. Okay. I'm glad that the Sens already locked in for 32. They don't have to worry about this. So I'm happy for you.
We're the only Canadian team that doesn't know where they're picking. So
there you go.
That's fun. We don't have to do too much of a breakdown on that. So.
No.
Okay, Cal. Well, that does it today for the True North Ice podcast. Remember, you can follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, including Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where we are slowing down on the everyday content, but the quality is still there, of course, of your favorite podcast clips and everything you need to know about Hockey Canada and Canadian hockey related. As always, we're a podcast, and you can listen to us on all your favorite podcast platforms, including the one you're listening to us on right now, and many more, including
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, YouTube Music, Good Pods, Castro, Podcast Addict, and many, many more.
Yes, iHeartRadio, man, my favorite one. Make sure.
Do you even have iHeartRadio on, like, download on your phone?
No.
Yeah, that's gonna say.
I listen to it on the web.
Okay, there you go. What do you listen to your podcast on? Spotify?
TSN 1200. That's Spotify.
Okay.
And my podcast consists of this one, the True North Ice podcast, 32 Thoughts, Lockdown Centers podcast, and Coming in Hot. Those are the 4.
That's the 4-pack.
Yeah.
I've got more than that, but I mean, I think right now, like, it's kind of a rotation between the Athletic Hockey Show, Puck Soup, the Goats. Those are pretty much the two right now that I like. Athletic Hockey Shows every day during the week. Then the PDO cast every Friday and Monday, the free version. So those are kind of the 3-pack I listen to right now. But I've got other ones. I mean, 32 Thoughts whenever I can, but yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, don't forget, True North Ice is the best podcast out there. So listen to us every single time we upload a new podcast. But for Jacob Ewing and Caleb Center, we thank you for listening.